All right, what is up, everybody? Divine Hood here, coming at you with another daily update on Bitcoin and the crypto markets. Welcome in, everybody. We are getting some dumpage to the downside, coming up to key resistance, rejecting from key resistance, and now is the larger dump about to continue. Welcome in, guys. Let me know, first off, is the music too loud? Can you hear me okay? Is everything looking good on the stream? So let me know real quick. While we're doing that, I'm going to say hi to everyone. Jafuel, welcome in, man. Yeah, guys, hit the like button. And thank you for being here as well, Jafuel. We're going to check out Solana. Solana's interesting, and I'm looking for that potential swing failure pattern. But if Bitcoin's going to dump harder, I don't think Sol's going to hold that. Wendell, M808, welcome in. Yep, we're dumping. SpinB, welcome in. Yeshwanth, welcome in, and much love to you as well. C-Train, welcome in. Glasshopper, DJ3 or R Pink, let's go, man. Thank you for being here. Thank you for modding. John Shanks, thank you for being here as well. We'll check out Turbo as well later on in the stream. Andy, welcome in. Thank you for being here, and thank you for modding as well. Team D Willa, welcome in. You've been trading the NQ mostly. Okay. Yeah, crypto is definitely getting some action, and we are definitely looking good as far as trading and volatility goes. AXSCB, welcome in. Okay, guys, sounds good. Music sounds good, I guess. So thank you, guys. And we are dumping, guys. We had this three-wave corrective move up to our naked weekly point of control, and our point of control just barely front-running our weekly level. And on Monday in the Telegram, I did post that this 90.2 to 90.6 is the first major area of resistance where we could look for a rejection to continue down. It took a couple days to get up there, but we did get up there with that three-wave corrective move, rejected, took out some local highs, took the liquidity of some local highs, and then we are now, looks like impulsing to the downside here, continuing to dump. Also, if we look at our trend-based Fibonacci extinction here, taken from the lows to the highs to the lows, you can see we came right up into that target zone between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236, wicking past it just a little bit to grab the liquidity and hit our naked weekly point of control. But this rejection here, guys, it looks good, and it looks like Bitcoin is going to continue down lower. We can watch for the SFP below us, but I honestly think that we are going to come down to grab the liquidity at 83.8 into our next level of support, and we'll see how that holds. Overall, over the past few weeks, I've been telling you guys my overall bias is bearish, and that this entire move from 80.5K has been a corrective retracement before overall coming down and taking out the 80K lows into potentially our 78K support zone. And we saw confirmations of that multiple times. We saw the confirmation with our 3 taps on that. Let me go ahead and just get rid of this real quick. 3 taps, backtesting bearishly our Fibonacci channel after losing it and closing some weekly candles below it. And now, after creating those 3 taps, we are dumping to the downside. This range, let me say this range could continue a little bit longer, but it is starting to mature, and I would not be surprised if we are about to make new lows on the chart. Not today. I'm not saying we're going to come down today and take out 80.5K, but I am saying it is highly likely that we do come down to take out 80.5K and to continue the bigger all double 1-2 impulse to the downside from the all-time highs. We have that big 1-2, 1-2, big 3, all of this being a 4. Now we're looking for some 4-5s in here, 4-5 in here to continue down, with the overall target of this impulse to the downside being to come down to take out our 74.5K lows. That is the target of this impulse, the overall target. So, guys, and earlier today, if you guys looked at the Telegram, I posted in the Telegram that this push up that we were seeing today was just a short squeeze. And the thing with short squeezes, guys, is yes, a short squeeze can be very volatile and can give you explosive price action. But if new money doesn't come in to support a short squeeze, oftentimes if you are going to reject from resistance, it will fall and retrace that entire short squeeze and possibly even more. So you can see on our order flow here, all this push up that we've been seeing here, it was primarily, and actually really the big imbalance candle in this part of it was a short squeeze. Look at huge drop in open interest as that was pushing up, and long positions stepping in. Now, those were not new long positions. Those were late shorters getting squeezed out. That's why our open interest was dropping here and dropping aggressively, because positions were getting closed out. A close of a sell position or a short position is a market buy or a long. So this entire push up that everyone was getting super bullish on, saying, oh, you know, our all-time highs coming now, things like that, it was literally just the short squeeze, and that short squeeze is getting retraced, and now we are starting to continue to dump to the downside. I will say this, if we go ahead and come in here, let's go ahead and come into the 15-minute chart and look at today's price action on that 15-minute chart. This push up that we saw, we did come right up into our resistance area. We did reject right from that naked weekly point of control. By the way, I'm going to take that off the chart now that we have hit into that naked weekly point of control around 90.3. And let me turn off these naked weeklies. We are dumping to the downside with some pretty nice spikes in volume. Now, I do say this often on the channel. When you have an ABC correction, a 3-wave zigzag correction, your C wave is an impulse, and it often ends in a high amount of volume. The total end of that correction often ends in a high amount of volume. And we saw that. We saw that spike right up into resistance, short squeeze with a high amount of volume right up into resistance. And now we're dumping and we're taking out the lows. We're taking out not only our local lows, but we could be coming for the overall lows from, what was that, Monday. We could be coming to take out Monday's lows just below us. Now, if we don't SFP Monday's lows, there's going to be a bigger drop. We're going to drop at least to take the liquidity at 83.8, but we could be starting the bigger push, the overall bigger push down here, guys. This range has had some time to mature since November 21st. Let's go to the 4-hour chart. Since November 21st, this sideways range that we've been in, this kind of complex corrective move could be done, and this could be the start of a bigger push down here that is just getting started, could last another week or so, but we could push down from here without making any significant retraces. And what I will say about this is that liquidity grab that we saw earlier today was important liquidity grab. Now, with this dump that we're seeing, we want to see if volume is going to start to increase on this dump. And we could be in a much bigger drop. Yesterday, I did talk about our double 1-2 impulse to the downside from 94.6K. Now, that has been invalidated. If we look at this impulse with being a wave 1, wave 2, wave 1, wave 2, all of this being a 3, and we were looking for a 4, 5, 4, 5s, some 4, 5s in there. If we pull our golden pocket from the highs of wave 3 to the lows of wave 3, we did. Oh, did we hit the golden pocket? Okay, we actually did not hit the golden pocket. We barely front ran that golden pocket. So it technically has not been invalidated, because the second you actually hit that 618, it is invalidated. But we did not hit that 618, at least on Coinbase. Let me check Bybit here, because if we did not hit that golden pocket, then our double 1-2 impulse is still intact, and that means we could be looking for a couple 4 5s to the downside here. Let's go ahead and pull that. There we go. Yeah, golden pocket was hit on Bybit, so it muddies the waters a little bit. I would say with us getting so close to that golden pocket on Coinbase and hitting it on Bybit, let's check Binance real quickly here. I would say we can actually invalidate that impulse to the downside, at least that form of the impulse, the double 1-2. Yeah, Binance hit it as well. So we're not going to be so much looking at this push down from 94.6 as a double 1-2 impulse anymore, but that doesn't mean that it can't be still impulsive price action to the downside and continuing down the overall bigger impulse to make new lows, specifically below 80.5K and even down to 74K. So welcome in, everybody. Yes, we're going to take a look at some of the alts today. We'll take a look at Bitcoin dominance. We're going to take a look at the total market cap. Get rid of this volume here. All right, and let's do that. Okay, so yeah, it's total market cap, guys. I was a little bit interested to see if total market cap could make it a little bit higher to backtest this pitchfork band, but we've been looking at this pitchfork band when we came down and originally touched the bottom of the pitchfork. We were expecting at least some sort of retracement, even if it was to make a lower high. before coming down and breaking it and making a lower low. And we said it's highly likely that we do form a range around the bottom of the pitchfork. And guess what? We did. We formed that bigger range around the bottom of the pitchfork. As this range was developing, we were creating higher highs in the price action, and we were creating those lower highs in the momentum waves with money flow draining out as the range was forming, making it more likely to be a distribution range or redistribution range where we continue to dump to the downside. And if we start to lose and close the daily candle below this pitchfork support level on the total market cap, we could see a bigger significant dump on the total market cap, much lower. And we would be, for the first time, breaking, let's go zoom out to the daily chart, breaking our impulsive trend or our bullish trend for the entire 2025 year of price action and even like a third of 2024. And if we start to break this down and close daily candles down below this pitchfork, we could see, just like what we saw with Bitcoin when Bitcoin broke its exact same pitchfork down, we could see a big flush to come take the liquidity of the lows, which is highly likely, in my opinion, if we start closing daily candles below this. A good example of that is if we go to Bitcoin here, and let me turn off our Fibonacci channel. Okay, we'll turn off that Fibonacci channel, and let me just clean this chart up as well. We're going to delete some of this here. And we look at, let's do that as well. Okay. And we look at that pitchfork. So let's throw that on there. You can see this pitchfork, very similar pitchfork where we rejected from the top of the pitchfork, came down to the lower band, then worked our way up to the upper band, rejected. But once we lost it, and specifically on the daily time frame, you could see we were holding right below it, and we formed a little bit of a low time frame range right in here, and then we lost it. And the next 2 days were big bearish candles to the downside. Very similar though, guys, very similar to the pitchfork or Fibonacci channel. We lose it, we close a weekly below it, we have the back test of it, cannot get back inside of it. When you cannot get back inside your trend of what support now being flipped into resistance, you, on that rejection, you expect to take out the lows and on more macro time frames. So that means the 80.5K lows. And total market cap is just a little bit behind, in my opinion, where total market cap is now forming that range inside the pitchfork. But if we start to lose and close daily candles, we could see a couple big red candles here, and then maybe a small retrace to backtest that before continuing the overall downtrend of making lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So it is getting dire for Bitcoin. It's getting dire for the crypto market cap. We do not want to lose this. If you are bullish, you do not want to lose this. You do not want to start closing daily candles and, even more importantly, weekly candles below this pitchfork. I mean, if we do, there's not much support that's going to be coming in. We can pull our Fibonacci from the lows of our 2025 macro range to the highs. And we did front run. Did we front run that 786? Yeah, barely front ran that 786. So what we could see here is a dump to take the liquidity of the lows into the 786 to come up for the bearish back test of the channel of the pitchfork before continuing down to take out your lows down in this area. And let's see, we do have a daily level down below us in that area of the 886. So let's throw that on the chart. Okay, daily level here. And I want to check out our weekly time frame here really quickly. Yeah, and we do have a weekly level as well. Okay. And I'm going to take this Fibonacci. We're going to turn on the 886 real quick, because, and the reason we're looking at that 886, guys, is because in ranges, sideways ranges, the 886 often will give you a bounce. Actually, a good example of that is in this area here. We had, in this 2024 range that lasted about 8 months, we had a lot of 886 rejections. And instead of rejecting from the 886, we literally came down and made new lows instead of coming up and taking out the highs. We could potentially see, because this is a big sideways range for majority of 2025. This is a big sideways range that's here. We could see some bounces from this general area, but ultimately I am expecting to come down to take out our lows of that 2025 range. And let's go ahead and pull our volume profile here on the total market cap. Yeah, here's another key thing, guys. We did lose. First off, we attempted, you can see right in this area, we were attempting to break out a value area high. Break out, try to break out. Finally break out a value area high, but you hit your resistance above, and then you fall back inside your volume profile. Now, when we fell back inside, we fell through the point of control too, where the most, the fair value for the asset or for the total market cap and the most volume is traded in this POC here. We fell through this volume gap straight down. We came down to like the second POC, or this volume node here it's almost as much volume as the POC. So of course we expected a bounce from that general area, but on that bounce, since we'd lost the POC, now we were bearishly backtesting that POC. Bearish backtest, we rejected on the bearish backtest. Well, guess what? We're going to work our way down to the next major pitchfork level. See a bounce from that pitchfork level, but then you come up to bearishly backtest that anchored VWAP from that key low. And this is equal to like Bitcoin's 74K lows. Rejected that anchored VWAP, came down to the bottom of the pitchfork. Now, once we were here at the bottom of the pitchfork, we were expecting a bounce here, some sort of range, some sort of bounce from this area. But the important thing was we had also lost the value area low of our range for the entire year of 2025, which is bad news. If you attempt to break out of the value area high, you see kind of a failed auction of a breakout of that range, and then you fall back inside it, lose the POC, backtest that POC, and then you lose the value area low. That's looking like, if just think in terms of range trading, imagine this was a 1 hour range and we had lost the value area low of the range after seeing an attempted breakout. Well, we're going to come for the liquidity at the bottom of the range. It just makes sense as far as range trading goes, market auction theory goes. And so what we're in the process of over the past couple of weeks was bouncing from the bottom of the pitchfork, holding the support, but now we were having the bearish backtest of that value area low. After you lose it, you will bounce from a support below, and then you'll come up for the bearish backtest. We come up for the bearish backtest. We have a couple tries at it. We reject 2 times, and now we're dumping here again. And we're at that support level again. Can we continue to range here? Yes, absolutely, guys. This range could last, honestly, another 2-3 weeks. And we could even bounce from the bottom of where we're at right now, the bottom of the pitchfork, to actually come up to hit that pitchfork band before ultimately losing this thing. Now, is that the highest likelihood, in my opinion? No. The highest likelihood now is, since we've already had the bearish backtest to the value area low, we've kind of confirmed that rejection. The highest likelihood for me now is to come take out the lows here. And that would be equal to Bitcoin's 80.5K lows. Once we start to dump and start to close daily candles below this pitchfork, we might see some big red bloody candles to the downside. Another thing is, it would set us up if we were coming into that weekly level, that daily level, or even the 886. Now, it's not the best confluence here. That's a pretty big zone. But I would say you might see some sort of bounce from this general area to backtest before ultimately taking out your lows of the 2025 range. But we'll have to see how that plays out. I'm expecting some pretty bearish price action if we do not SFP the lows here at, what is that, 2.73, $2.74 trillion. And remember that 786 is right into that low. So that kind of is your last bastion of hope there, is hitting into that 786. And actually, let me make sure. Yeah, log scale. That's better, because I think, let's just double check this here. 85% move, so it's close enough. You could look at either log scale or non-log scale. For now, I think I'm going to keep it on log scale, so that 786 is coming at 2.63 trillion. Okay, let me check the chat real quick. Thank you guys for letting me know that it sounds good. All right, Talk with Craig, welcome in. Dump Hop TV, welcome in. Team B Willa, welcome in. And for Eski, Chad P, not with Quickler. Sorry, guys, I'm horrible with names. And then Time Attack, welcome in. And Time Attack, thank you so much for being here. Thank you for modding. Happy Hump Day. Yeah, or we should say Happy Dump Day, huh? Because it's dumping. I'm not a crazy person, but when I see a like button, I smash it. Yes, guys, please smash the like button. If you get any sort of insight into the crypto market, into Bitcoin from this live stream, please smash the like button for me. Please subscribe to the channel and share the stream that you with anyone you might think finds it interesting. But yeah, guys, we are coming down to a very, very key support right now. Once again, the bottom of the pitchfork. You can see we've had now, this will be our third tap of the pitchfork. So once again, that kind of 3-tap theory. If this is going to hold, the bottom of this pitchfork is going to hold. We have our 1-tap, our 2-tap, our 3-tap. We want to see a push back up, and we want to see impulsive price action back up. We want to get back above the value area low of the range, and then we want to flip it to support to continue to work our way higher. If not, after a 3rd tap of support, if it doesn't hold, you often will dump pretty hard here. And to me, that's the higher likelihood. Market structure is king. The trend is your friend. The trend has been lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs. So why not expect a lower low? It's just the way it is right now. And, you know, as traders, we can play the market both ways. And so we just map out those key levels and we take whatever comes. Unfortunately, this morning in the Telegram, when we were coming up to that naked weekly point of control at 90.2 and that range point of control, I was suggesting that we were going to make one more local high because the low time frame price action suggested we could. And I really wanted to come up to take out these weekend highs. You can see I have an alert set on these weekend highs. This is the Saturday highs in here. And I really wanted to come take out those Saturday highs, wicking that liquidity before ultimately dumping. So I did miss the short this morning from this general area. I was trying to be a little bit more patient, look for one more high into that liquidity and actually that weekly level that was just above us. We did have that weekly resistance just above us that did not get tapped. But unfortunately, we're dumping, and I would expect now we're so low, we're so close. With this being a 3-wave corrective move, guys, this here looks like a very clear 3-wave corrective move coming up into your ABC target zone for rejection, your most common area between the 1-to-1 and the 1.236. Now that this is confirmed and we're starting to see some impulsive price action to the downside, even locally, the highest probability is to come take out these lows. So the question is it going to happen with an SFP where we just SFP those lows and then, you know, continue to kind of form a more sideways range here? Or is it going to continue the dumpage to the downside, continue the impulsive price action to the downside, and maybe we'll see, you know, the start of an impulse here, maybe a wave 1, retrace to the golden pocket in a wave 2, and that might be around the back test of that value area low, wave 3, and then so on and so forth, 4, 5, you know, continuing down to take out your 80.5K lows, and then maybe even see lower targets after that. Okay, Coin Operated, welcome in, man. Love listening to the live while I'm at work. Well, thank you for listening while at work, man. I hope that it does help you in some ways, and I know you probably can't watch it as intently, but thank you for being here, and thank you for listening. Appreciate all of you guys so much. Okay, so really on Bitcoin, there's not too much else to look at here. We have liquidity just below us. We have this little bit of liquidity just below us at 85,129 is the lows from Monday. And until we get to like 83,800, and then we also have our, let's see, it was something else in this area. It was the liquidity grab and a monthly level, I think it was. Let's just double check here. Naked, let's see, not a monthly level. Maybe a 786, I think it was actually. Yeah, if we pull our Fibonacci from the lows of 80.5 to our 94.6K highs, yeah, it was our 786. And of course, I did not use the fib on that one, or log scale, so you can see here. At 83,545 is our 786 Fibonacci. And we really want to see that liquidity grab into that 786 Fibonacci. And if we can get that and then get back above 83.8, then that would trigger a long position for me. It would at least trigger a scalp long opportunity, potentially turning into a day trade long opportunity. But overall, I would still be expecting, guys, a lower high on the chart. So say we do come down here, we grab the liquidity at 83.8 into our 786. The second we reclaim that low, we can enter long with our stop loss below wherever that wick was, like preferably below the 786. And then we could be targeting at the very least the back test of your value area low. And that's still over a 7-to-1 risk reward ratio. And then we could also pull our Fibonacci from the high rejection of today, the rejection of that POC, to down wherever that low is going to be. This is right now a theoretical fib, so don't look at these numbers because we actually haven't created that low yet. But coming up to, 87, 88K in some ways could be an area where we could reject as well. Now, the thing is, if we do come up there, we would be back inside the volume profile. So we would have to watch for, finding reacceptance on a back test. But we'll get to that conundrum if it occurs in the future. Right now, we're just looking at the dump that's occurring now. We're looking at coming out to take out the local lows around 85.1 and potentially even dropping down to take out the liquidity at 83,800. Okay, let me check the chat here, see what everyone is up to. We'll look at some of the altcoins. Solana, Jafiel, Solana is coming down to, we just grabbed that liquidity. Okay, so here's the thing on Solana, guys. We were in this ascending channel, and I was saying this looks far more corrective. We saw a fake out of it, then we came to the top of the channel, and now we're dumping. We're finally grabbing that liquidity that we were looking to grab, coming down. So let me get rid of this channel now. And if we don't see a liquidity grab of this low, like a swing failure pattern right now, this low, I do think we're going to drop to the bottom of the pitchfork around $113. But we have that big range that goes back to March of 2024. And we're looking at, here's our major range here. We're looking at forming that sideways horizontal range between the point of control of the range of our macro range and the value area low of the macro range. But yesterday on the live stream, I warned about how, guys, we're making these higher highs in here, creating this trail of liquidity, and also stopping us from creating bull divs on the chart, because in order to see bull divs, you have to have lower lows in the price action. And we were not seeing that. So I was saying it was highly likely that we are going to take out this liquidity at 121.47. So now that we're getting this liquidity grab here, let's go ahead and look at this and see if this is viable for a long trade. So right now we've wicked out that liquidity, and I don't like the way, okay, with a swing failure pattern, as long as you wick out that liquidity and start to close at, like, I would say 12, 15 minute candle above, you can enter that long trade here. You don't necessarily need bull div confirmations. The confirmation on a swing failure pattern is regaining that level after wicking the liquidity. It's better to see bull divs at support with that wick of the liquidity, but it's not required. And so for me, I don't like the way Market Cipher B looks, by the way. The money flow looks really bad, but on NAMI, which is quicker than Market Cipher B, you can see these confirmed bull divs and money flow coming to the upside here. So let me check the 5-minute chart here. Depending on how this 5-minute chart looks, I might look for a long right now. I might just enter the long opportunity of the swing failure pattern. And if you guys are interested in that, just make sure, first of all, I'm not a financial advisor. I do not give financial advice. But you want to adjust your position size based off of where you're entering and where your stop loss has to go. This percentage right here is going to give you everything you need to know about your trade. Okay, 5-minute looks like it kind of wants to roll over here. No bull divs on Market Cipher B, but NAMI does have multiple drives of 5-minute bull div and the money flow bull div on the 5-minute here. And let's go to the 1-minute chart. I might look at really be interested in taking along from this opportunity. I want to, on the 1-minute chart, I want to pull this golden pocket. If we reject where we're at right now, coming up to this 1-minute golden pocket retrace, I expect this to continue back down. But if we can reclaim it, then we can start to look for, first of all, if you guys really want to be safe, you wait for a change in market structure. So taking out these highs at 122.37. That would be the safest thing to do. As soon as you take out those highs, now you have a bullish change in market structure. You can wait for a little bit of a retrace, and then you enter upon the retrace, and maybe you start to impulse up in a bigger move to the upside after grabbing your macro liquidity below you, the macro SFP liquidity grab below you. Okay, starting to reject from that golden pocket. Let's see how this reacts here. Okay. Quiles 1100, welcome in, man. Also, D-Rob side, welcome in. Syrup, yeah, we can look at some of the altcoins, guys. Looks like we got a lot of altcoins to look at today, so give me just a minute. I'm interested in taking this long opportunity on Solana. Let me check the 4 hour out real quick. On the 4 hour, oh, man. Okay, bull divs potentially in the works here. Lower lows here, higher lows here, not confirmed on Market Cypher B. Nami has invalidated them, but the money flow is about to cross over into the green. What I don't like, what I'm seeing here is Market Cypher B's money flow is now dipping again, starting to dump again. And if Bitcoin keeps dropping, we know that the altcoins are going to follow. I just want to check out this 8 hour time frame. Now, guys, I've been very strong on the 8 hour time frame. Not a lot of people check the 8 hour time frame, but I've been telling you guys the 8 hour is really good to look at money flow on Market Cypher B. And as a lot of people were looking at bull divs on Bitcoin, I kept coming in here on the 8 hour and saying, oh my God, money flow looks horrible on the 8 hour here. Not, this is Solana, but also on Bitcoin, it looks very similar. And when you see that intermediate time frame money flow leaving out of the asset, it's always going to overpower a single drive of bull divs. So for me, yes, we are potentially now creating some bull divs on the 8 hour, not confirmed yet, but money flow looks bad. Now on Nami, we have already, actually not even confirmed yet, but we have a couple drives of bull divs here. You can see on Nami already in this move down. It would be nice to confirm another drive of it and to grab, now we finally came down and took out the liquidity. That was the key thing we were waiting for, is that more macro liquidity grab. We've finally come down and done that now. I am concerned. I'm not convinced here that this liquidity grab is going to hold, and primarily because Bitcoin is not at a support level yet. See, let's check Bitcoin really quickly here. Is Bitcoin? No, it's not. Okay. And if we look at our volume profile here, yeah, starting to lose the value area low with some imbalanced candles. That's not a good thing to see. And to be honest, this wick below, the liquidity wasn't very much of a wick. You want to see a little bit more of a wick so you can actually stop out those stops that are below that have given themselves a little bit of breathing room. But what I'm going to do here is I'm going to calculate my position size real quick here. I think we're going to come down a little bit more. So I'm just going to put it right on that liquidity grab level. And I'm going to give this a little bit of breathing room down to about, what is that, 120.78. And I'm going to be looking to target the very least the back test of the value area low of the range. So that's a 6-to-1 risk reward ratio. You're looking at a 0.55% stop loss. So the thing is with that, if you guys know how to calculate your risk, what you're doing there is you are taking 1% of your portfolio. So let's just give an example. Let's say you have a $1,000 portfolio. 1% of $1,000 is $10. So that's what you're risking per trade. You're risking $10 per trade. You're going to divide that by this number, but because it's a percentage, you got to move the decimal over 2 spots. So we're going to do 0.00552 equals, okay, wait, $1,800. You can do $1,811, or, let's just say $1,810. So you put a little bit less for fees. And you can risk $1,800 on the position. If you get stopped out, you're going to lose around $10 there. So that is something that we'll be looking at. Now, of course, 1% of your portfolio is probably not going to be exactly at $1,000. You got to calculate what 1% of your portfolio is. And then after that, you can start to look at calculating your position size. Okay, Abir, welcome in, man. Okay, you did send a thumb. All right, thank you, Abir. I did not get a chance to post that before the stream started with this live stream here today. I can really see BTC having a wild end of the weekend. JPN will figure out their rate hike Friday, and the only market, Japan, will figure out the rate hike on Friday, and the only market open after that is Bitcoin. Wow. Yeah, yes. You know what? It's going to be interesting, man. I do think that the macroeconomics is going to start to play a huge factor into what's happening. And if you guys have been following what's going on with Oracle and the private debt kind of collapse that's happening right now, or the lack of liquidity that's happening in the private debt sector, this could be a really, really big bearish factor. And it could cause a lot of investors to go away from risk on assets like crypto. And of course, it could cause some pretty big dumpage here. So I'm just warning, man. I think, and also our technicals are also showing that, hey, it looks like, lower targets are coming. All right, Bitcoin's trying to hold this value area low, but we're starting to form like a little 5-minute triangle in here, or like a little 1-minute triangle, symmetrical triangle. And I wouldn't be too convinced that this thing is going to actually start to hold up here. Kind of something like this. Man, Solana's going to get... Okay, Solana is bouncing from the lower high 1-minute golden pocket. So if we pull that golden pocket from the lows of the liquidity grab to the highs that we just made on the 1 minute, you can see we're bouncing from that golden pocket. I'm going to look at attempting a long position here, guys. Let's just throw it right there. Okay, 0.615. So that means you can use about 1.4 times your portfolio. Give me just a second here, guys. I'm just going to do some calculations here. All right. So if you are entering this trade on the liquidity grab of the lows, just make sure you guys are using proper risk management. And here's the theory of this trade here, walking you through this guy's live here. The overall premise of a swing failure pattern is you have a swing low down here. And what market makers like to do is they like to stop out all the positions that have been in this bigger range that we've been in for about a month now. This bigger range between the POC, the macro POC. Let me get rid of this smaller range real quick. Between the macro POC and the macro value area low, we've been creating this liquidity trail here by making higher lows on the price action. And even this guy here, higher lows on the price action. So oftentimes after you reject from a resistance, continuing your overall downtrend, you'll take that liquidity, sweep out all of the longs that were in this area. If they're proper traders, that's where their technical invalidation would be. So now you swept out and you reset all the liquidity over the past month of long positions. And then you fail to break down past that low, you just wick out the liquidity and now you reverse the price. So this is how market makers prey on retail. And swing failure patterns are some of the best trade setups in the world to take, because you have a clearly defined stop loss for your idea. My trading idea is, guys, we took the liquidity and now we're about to reverse. So your stop is going to go below the low. And if you're wrong, if it starts to dump and lose the low again, then your idea was wrong. It's going to be a failed liquidity grab. You get out of it. But if you're right on that, then you expect to see a big reversal and at least a scalp trade in progress there. So you can get that scalp trade even if it's going to make a lower high before ultimately breaking the range to the downside and coming down to your next major support level. So just letting you know that, guys, I'm going to quickly update the Telegram here. Now, as far as money flow goes and momentum, we don't have much confirmation here to look for the long. The only confirmation I'm seeing is the wick past the level and the reclaim of the level. So if you want to be more conservative on this, I would wait. Also, Bitcoin's not at support yet, so I would wait if you're not sure on this. It is a riskier trade to take right now, but we do have the confirmed swing failure pattern. Bitcoin, we need to watch for a liquidity grab of this local triangle high and then continuation of the dump. Okay, let's see. Mitsubishi, USDT, what do you mean by that? Check out USDT dominance. Is that what you're saying? Mind Tapestry, welcome in. Awesome. Yeah, thank you for being here, Mind Tapestry. I'm streaming today instead of tomorrow because I have something to do tomorrow. So figured I'd switch the schedule around just a little bit. And I still wanted to do stream for you guys because obviously last Friday I wasn't able to stream for you guys. Let's get back to Solana really quickly here. Man, I just don't like, even on the 1 minute chart, 3 minute chart, we're making bearish price action. Lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows, lower highs, lower lows. So really, another way, if you want to be conservative, is you wait for a break in market structure. For me, whether you're using the 3 minute or the 1 minute, this break here at 122.37, if you broke that, now you're seeing a bullish break in market structure on the 1 minute, a 3 minute, and then you look for that retrace to the golden pocket and you enter on that golden pocket retrace here, high or low, and then you could, have more confirmation. So, yeah, it's you might want to wait on this, guys. Let's see here. I'm going to pull this little kind of descending channel here. You can see we had the big aggressive dump on Solana, and then we started to form a channel towards the end. So the selling pressure is at least starting to slow down and get exhausted a little bit within this channel. Because our liquidity grab was so shallow, I would not be surprised if we did come down one more time and saw kind of that 3 drives pattern, or we would need a couple more swing failure patterns to get that 3 drives pattern down here. But okay, let me see. I'm just gonna look through the list of coins real quick to check out. So Solana was one of them. And Yeshwanth, I'm doing good. I hope you are as well. Beautiful swing failure short. Yes, Spin B, it was, man. Right into a naked weekly point of control, right into your range point of control. It was a beautiful short position. Turbo. Okay, we can do turbo. We can do... Yes, Tau. Turbo Tau. Abort the mission on the background music. Yeah, I can do that, Jaffiel. Let me just go ahead. Hold on, guys. Let me just get rid of that music real quick there. Syrup. Okay, we got some coins to look at here. And USDT dominance. Turbo long position. Okay. We know that we have a possible long trade triggered on Solana. That's up to you guys if you want to take that or not. I kind of walked you through how to set that stop loss, how to calculate your position size on that. But let's go ahead and go into Turbo. And then, yeah, it looks like we're at our support level where we were looking for a potential long position from this golden pocket, the liquidity grab into the golden pocket. You have the confirmed liquidity grab. Look at this. Actually, this is beautiful. Wick the liquidity, and now you're starting to push, and you're breaking above your 618. To me, this actually looks really good. Look at bull divs on the chart, money flow growing to the upside, bull divs on the chart, bullish money flow on NAMI. This is the perfect setup. Actually, I wish I would have looked at this before taking the long on Solana. Or we could do both. Like, let's see here. But you kind of have a big push up already. We're still in, even on the 3 minute or 12 minute chart, you're kind of in this channel here now. You can see the big drop, and now you're starting to get that selling exhaustion. So for me, the stop loss on this is kind of big. Let's see, if we entered right now, your stop would have to go below those lows. It's 2% stop loss, and then you'd be targeting, I mean, the value area high is what you'd want to target, or the VWAP. To me, that's not a good enough risk-reward ratio right now for it. We kind of are late on this, but we could see a much bigger push to the upside. We could be seeing a push to backtest this value area low of this bigger range here. Yeah, your big range value area low. Since you've lost it, you haven't had the backtest of it. So remember, yesterday on the stream, I said it's likely that we continue in this kind of descending channel that we were seeing here, potentially down to our golden pocket. And then after that, you could see a back test of the value area low. If you reject, you expect lower. If you can get back inside of it, you probably expect to move up to that POC. So Turbo actually looks pretty good for a long position. Look at, you got confirmed bull divs on the chart, money flow coming up, confirmed bull divs, money flow bull divs on the 1 hour. Also, let's go to the 4 hour chart. To me, I mean, this push, look at this liquidity trail here. All of this liquidity, and specifically in here, that can start to create a massive short squeeze. We were also looking at Turbo as a bigger flat correction. We took out the highs, the liquidity from the highs. Now we come down, we take out the liquidity from the lows. That's your flat, and then you could start to reverse right back up here. So honestly, this thing could start to play out a lot more. It might just be a bearish backtest to value area low and then a real breakdown. But if you can get back inside your volume profile, this thing might start to create a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, potentially coming up and taking out your, liquidity above. I mean, even coming up to, your daily level and your golden pocket way up in this area of 0039. That would be pretty nice to see. And remember, on the larger time frames, we were looking at this as kind of a left shoulder, head, right shoulder in here. This could really be a beautiful swing long position here on Turbo with this liquidity grab. And I'm just telling you guys, look at this. This is going to create one hell of a short squeeze. If we start to squeeze this liquidity, it's going to create a volatile short squeeze to the upside. Parabolic price action. 4 hour even does have some bull divs. Money flow is looking kind of crappy though. Still coming out and still leaving the asset, draining out of the asset. And there's no 4 hour bull divs on NAMI right now. But you did confirm the swing failure pattern. You did confirm that swing failure pattern. You did get that golden pocket test. And remember, we were looking at the golden pocket. I think, who was it that just said we broke through the golden pocket? You have to, because this push up from this area here, this low to this high is more than 100%. You have to make sure you come in on your Fibonacci and click based off log scale. So when you pull that Fibonacci, you can see, yeah, you could say, oh, we're breaking through the golden pocket, but you're not. You're not pulling the golden pocket properly based off that being a bigger push, more volatile move. You're on log scale. You need to adjust that. So you go into your Fibonacci settings, you click on that Fibonacci settings, and you come down here, click based off log scale. That's going to give you your proper golden pocket there. Now, once you have your proper golden pocket, that's a proper 61.8% retrace. If we leave it on the regular golden pocket, and you just, let me just bring this over here to show you guys an example of that. So this is our golden pocket. And I'm just going to give you a visual example of this. But if we go from the highs to the 618, and then we go from the lows to the 618, you can see that it's not a proper 61.8% retrace. They're almost equal. I mean, I guess, yeah, you could say it's probably like a 55% retrace there. So you want to change that to based off log scale to account for that. Yeah, but this thing is starting to push up. Let's look at our volume here. Okay, yep. And see, volume's going lower and lower and lower as we're dumping here. Get that liquidity grab. Now we want to start to see some spikes in volume come in here. We want to really see volume start to pick up in the next 15, 20 minutes here. But this looks good for a long trade. I mean, this could turn into a big swing long position. I just want to look at the 8 hour chart here. Let's check that. Oh man, that money flow looks very disastrous there on Market Cipher B. You do have slight bull divs, not quite confirmed yet. And then NAMI doesn't have bull divs, but the money flow overall is coming up here. It's honestly, it's going to depend on what Bitcoin does. If Bitcoin starts to dump here, we're probably going to lose this. But you can at least start to play this as a scalp. If you took this long trade, if you took this swing failure pattern here, I would be looking at least taking it up to VWAP. If you reject from VWAP, remember in a trending day, you'll often reject from VWAP to continue the bearish trend. So if we break away from it for a bit, you come back up to it and you reject from that VWAP, you're probably going to continue your bearish trend here. So that would be my first. I would just set an alert around that VWAP. And if you start to reject from that VWAP, maybe pull out 50% of the trade, move your stop to break even. But the overall first TP I would be looking at is the back test of the value area low, which we have not. Since we lost it, we had an immediate low time frame back test, but we haven't come back to back test it on the higher time frames yet, which usually does happen before seeing a true breakdown. So if Bitcoin's going to continue to break down to 83.8, take that liquidity there, we might see at least a scalp trade to that value area low before seeing the overall breakdown of Turbo as well. Okay, Turbo, let's do Tau USDT or Okay, this is not the chart that I use. Well, Towel's coming down to its support level that we had marked out. You can see this was a range, a sideways range that we were in for the past couple of weeks. Now, what's concerning is we're starting to break this range down, and you're seeing follow through in the breakdown. But you did have your golden pocket below us. This is your log golden pocket down here between 234.4 and 224.5. We've just hit the 618 of that golden pocket. Look at that perfect 618 tap of that golden pocket. Now, I know this was a big green box range that we were seeing, and the reason why is because their value area low. I would say, and that the value area low was at your pitchfork band, the start of your pitchfork band. You know, we might come a little bit lower on this thing. This breakthrough could fall. This breakdown could follow through here because you're losing the value area low. Let me take this upper range and get rid of that for a second. Oop, wrong one. But you have your bigger sideways accumulation range that we're seeing here on BitTinter. I guess it's not an accumulation range. I wouldn't call it accumulation. I just say it's your big range that BitTinter's been kind of trading in, going back to July of 2024. And the value area low was at the pitchfork band. You can see the sideways pitchfork band. Of course, we rejected from the top of the pitchfork band. Let's get rid of some of these now. This is probably no longer useful. This is no longer useful. If we don't hold this band in this golden pocket here, then I do think we're going to see a much bigger drop, probably to the bottom of the pitchfork around 173. But for now, we're at support. And remember these, I'm just going to hide this box real quick so we can see this better. We're at the golden pocket. We're inside our pitchfork band. And generally, even if we're going to break this down, we might form a range in here for a bit first, kind of back testing that value area low. And if you can't get back inside, that's when you're going to break this sucker down and continue the overall downtrend. Let's check our 1 hour here. So 1 hour is confirmed bull divs on Market Cipher B, and your money flow looks to finally be bottoming a little bit. And then you have confirmed bull divs here on NAMI. Also, you have money flow bull divs here on NAMI. So gosh, man, these both Turbo and Tau look pretty good for at least scalp long positions here. I would say, of course, no financial advice here, and calculate your position size, use good risk management, everything like that, guys. But these could be some decent trades that we're looking at, decent at least scalp positions here that we could be looking at. I mean, this golden pocket that we were looking to come down to, this is a macro golden pocket here. Very macro golden pocket, pulled from the lows of the October 10th crash all the way up to those highs at 537. Now you're finally coming down to your log golden pocket. And if you are going to make an overall higher low, then it's generally at your golden pocket, and then you could come up and make a higher high here, or at least come up and retest your point of control, your fair value for the asset. Let's get rid of some of this old TA. Let's check out our naked dailies here because I believe this is all old. Yeah, this is old. Okay, and let's go to our naked weeklies. Man, I really like that naked weekly up above the range highs at 326.8. And let's pull that smaller volume profile again of just this upper price action in here. Let's pull to here. Yeah, see that value area low back test of this range is right where that naked weekly is. So we could even pull this back a little bit and then pull this forward a little bit. And let's see. Same thing, guys. This is a great, man, we could be looking at a bounce here to get at least up to here. And that is a great trade right there. That is such a great trade. Even if you're looking at larger time frames, maybe making another low into the bottom of the pitchfork band. But generally from this area, even if you entered right now as we're speaking, you put your stop below the lows. I would probably even put it right there below the pitchfork band, or at, a little bit below the pitchfork band. That is still a decent, 8.5 risk to reward ratio, 8 to 1 risk reward ratio there for that. So just letting you guys know that's a potential long position on Tau as well. Okay, that was Tau, and then we got Syrup. And let me read the chat here. John Shanks, thank you so much, man. Thank you so much for the super chat. I appreciate that. And I hope that helps a little bit with you with Turbo. To me, it looks pretty good. Honestly, Turbo looked even better than Solana did, and Turbo looked just about as good as the Turbo looks as good as Tau does right now, because they both have confirmed bull divs and money flow going up and some money flow bull divs on Nami. You're coming into that macro golden pocket. Now, before I go into Syrup real quick, I want to talk about on Turbo, the one thing you need to watch for is because we're losing our macro value area low of our bigger volume profile, this guy here, because we're losing it, if you close a daily candle below it, you could see continuation down, or you could at least see a range form for a few days within this pitchfork band here. With the value area low being at that back test of your pitchfork band, you might do this. You might come up just a little bit to back test that area. And if you reject there, you might at least come down and make another local low. And then that's that kind of bottoming reversal range that forms here. So if you're entering, just know that if you start to come up to, what is that? About 251, and you start to reject from 251, maybe pull some profit out and move your stop loss to break even. And then we could look for another low. If it comes up here, we could look for another low into the bottom of the pitchfork band or into the 0.65. That would give you another drive of bull divs here. You would have multiple drives of bull divs, and then you could even get a better position here where you're going to look for that kind of reversal, that bottoming reversal range, and then a expansion to the upside, kind of model 2 accumulation here, expansion. So just be aware that we could make one more low, especially if Bitcoin's going to keep dumping. Money flow does not look the best here. And the one thing with Turbo on top of Tau does not have. Oh, sorry. You asked about Turbo. Yeah. Okay. Tau here does not have a swing failure pattern that we're looking at. Turbo does. So with Turbo, let's see, was it this one? No. Turbo. Yeah, with Turbo, you do have the confirmed liquidity grab. So I would say it makes this trade a little bit better. And also, this liquidity trail here is so steep that you could really create a volatile short squeeze with this. Yeah, it is still hasn't broken market structure bullishly. We're still making, even locally, lower low, lower high, lower low, lower high, lower low. This could be a lower high before we come down again. But overall, you did get the confirmed swing failure pattern. Sol about to make another low, didn't get in. One more low and I'll get in. Yes, okay, Jaffiel. Yes. Well, thank you, John Shakes. I appreciate that comment, man. What level are you looking at for the low? So on Solana, this is exciting that we actually maybe get to catch some live trades, because I've been wanting to do some live trading here. Solana, yeah, it did make another low. And like I said, that SFP was a very shallow SFP. So now what we can be looking at on Solana is kind of like a 3 drives pattern in here, guys. We got our initial swing failure pattern. We come down, we swing fail the swing fail. That's your tap 1, your tap 2. Now, if we can get one more here, tap 3, or even a higher low at the golden pocket. So if you didn't get in onto the Solana long position, what you could do now is you could pull your Fibonacci. Now that we took out those lows again, pull your Fibonacci from the low to the high here. And if you come down to this golden pocket at like 121.69, 121.73, and you start to bounce, this could be this 1 minute bottom reversal pattern. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder, kind of that bottoming reversal pattern on the 1 minute time frame. Look at your money flow on the 1 minute, nicely coming up. You do have the bull divs confirmed on the 1 minute here on both NAMI and Market Cipher B. So, yeah, it doesn't look too bad to me, guys. Doesn't look too bad. Okay, syrup was it? Syrup. Wow, syrup's pushing a little bit, huh? Okay, man, this is kind of crappy coin. We got our range here. You broke down your range, and you can see when you broke this down, you really came down here, started to break down. Let's get rid of all this local junk in here. It's been a while since we checked this one out. This is probably broken too. Oops. Just gonna mark some stuff out real quick here, guys. Oh, that daily level right there and that little daily order block right here, right at the back test of the value area low is going to be highly important at 03898. And then, of course, we have some support below us that was not hit. And then your overall support down here, but I wouldn't mark that out yet. Let's just try to keep this chart cleaner. Let's go to the 1 hour. Now, if I'm looking at syrup, this is obviously the range that we're going to be looking at, this sideways range in here. Because you had your big dump, your big aggressive dump, losing the value area low, and now we're starting to form maybe a left shoulder, head, right shoulder, or a Model 2 accumulation. You have that accumulation now. Tap 1, tap 2, possibly a tap 3 in here because you're starting to push up with some pretty nice price action. And even this right here looks like a 1, 2. This looks like a 3. You could be retracing in a 4 before coming out and taking out these highs in a 5. So let's pull our volume profile of this range, of this sideways range here. Okay, we're rejecting from value area high, or we're attempting to reject. You did take all of this liquidity. All of these liquidity right here. Finally took that out. And after taking that out, you're dumping. So I wouldn't want to lose the POC at 27 cents. If you start to lose 27 cents, you're in trouble because that's an attempted breakout of value area high. You're back inside. You've already had a very low time frame back test to confirm re-entry. If you start to lose POC, you're in trouble. But let's look at our naked weekly points of controls within here. Let me go zoom out to the 2-hour time frame. Man, there's no naked weeklies except at the bottom of the range. Oh, we have a couple actually. So at pretty much 25 cents, we have a naked weekly point of control. Let's mark that out. And then we also have one right on top of our daily, right with our daily in Confluence. That's going to be very important as well. And also, I believe there was a daily down here. So I'm gonna look at that real quick. Let's just delete that for a second. Turn these off, and we will check out that daily level. It's a little bit, our daily's a little bit lower, but it's going to be our zone of support. Okay, those are naked weeklies. Those are our dailies. Now let's look at our naked dailies within our range. All right. This is today's. We can't mark this out. This is today's. But you also have a naked daily point of control right on top of this naked weekly point of control. So 26 cents, 26.23 to 26.15 is going to be really important support, guys. Really, really important. And you even have a naked daily down here. I mean, I wish this confluence at the bottom was a little bit nicer between these 3 levels here, but it would stop out all of this liquidity. all of this liquidity here coming down into this area. And your value area low is down there. So next levels of support for me, definitely this guy here. Daily level, naked weekly point of control. And I bet you your golden pocket's there too. Let's pull our golden pocket of this current move here. Okay, golden pocket. It's only 20%. Yeah. 786 is close by though. All right. So first off, because we're breaking these highs, we took the liquidity and we are attempting to break out of the value area high of our range here. Since we're back inside of it, you might retrace to the POC. And like I said just before this, before we knew the golden pocket was there, you want to hold this POC. Now we have added confluence. So your very first level to look for of support is going to be that golden pocket POC. And actually, this is the most important level as far as maintaining bullish structure. And then if you lose that, I do like this 786 naked weekly point of control and daily. Down here is also pretty good, but not near as good as these two as far as local supports go. And then to the upside, because you pretty much have taken everything out except your liquidity above you in this range. You have liquidity here, and then you have liquidity here. And I would say if you're going to go up, you're probably going to take both those out together. So let's see what happens here on syrup. But syrup doesn't look, let's go zoom out to the 4 hour now. I mean, you were creating some very nice bull divs in here. Look at lower lows on the price action, higher lows on the momentum waves, money flow curving to the upside here on Market Cipher B, and your money flow is still in the green overall. If we come down to 26 cents to 26 to 20, actually about 27 cents here, that could be a decent long position, guys, to take out the liquidity at 31.74. You do have some bull divs confirmed here. Now, those bull divs, you could say, have already played out with this push up. Let's look at the 8 hour. Man, look at that. Bull divs on the 8 hour. Money flow curving to the upside. Nice trigger waves here. Hidden bull div printed on the low of the secondary low of the range, followed by a bull div here on NAMI, excuse me. I think this looks good for a breakout. Now, you obviously cannot long now with proper risk management. You have to wait for the pullback. So the pullback, if you hit this golden pocket, it would be nice, but in some ways it wouldn't be because you would be invalidating at least the local bull impulse. Because this does look very impulsive. A wave 1, a wave 2, a wave 3, wave 4, wave 5. So what we want to see here now, to keep this impulse intact on your wave 4, so you're going to pull it from the lows of wave 3 to the highs of wave 3, and you're going to turn on your wave 4 targets. That's exactly where we're bouncing from, between the 382 and the 0.5. So you might bounce now, 1, 2, 3, 4, and then come up and take out the highs. And I would say, let's see where it goes here. But it looks good. It looks good overall for a larger time frame. Look at money flow is about to turn back up again. Money flow looks like it could turn back up again here on the 1 hour time frame. I just want to check turbo real quick. I'm really interested in looking at this long. Was that finance? No. Man, okay. Look at that swing failure pattern. Great trade right there. Dude, this one could turn out to be such a good trade, guys. Like, man, I'm so disappointed. Look at this. I might still enter this. Look at this liquidity trail here. If you start to break market structure, you could squeeze the crap out of this thing. Really getting a nice trade here. Nice long position. Let's pull our golden pocket from the highs to the lows. And golden pocket here. I just want to check to see if this is more than 30%. And it is. So we're going to put this based off log scale. Yeah, that's it, man. Look at that, dude. That is such a nice long position. So swing failure pattern, Stop is going to go below the wick low. Look at how low, look how smooth that stop loss is. Hold on, let's make this even cleaner. Stop a little bit below the wick low. Targeting overall, I would be targeting that POC macro golden pocket. 45-1 risk reward ratio there. That is such a good trade, man. Whew. I'm a bot in Corrupt Gaming. That's funny. I don't know. I can't speak good enough to be a bot. You hear me like mixing up support, resistance, all these different things. Quad witching on Friday. Okay. Did you enter Soul? Yes, I did enter a Soul long position. Yeah, AX SCB. Thank you, man. We have some good trade setups here today during the live stream. It's very exciting. And I know a lot of you guys are interested in Bitcoin, but like when the altcoins have really good trade setups, why not trade them? Like, why not? You know, I understand you should primarily be focusing on Bitcoin. Bitcoin's our bread and butter, right? We know how Bitcoin moves, we know how it behaves, we know how it acts. But man, I'm telling you right now, some of these coins right now, a Solana SFP of the low, of a low that we've been waiting for months. This range low here. Now, if Solana can get back above the value area low, whew, that's going to be great, man. That's going to be at least a push up to your local golden pocket. And I would pull the golden pocket from your last rejection of the POC down to the lows that we just made. And look at that liquidity grab at 135. See, this here alone could be a nice trade. Even if you enter right now, let's say you enter the trade right now, stop below the low. If I can get this thing. Stop below the low. And then you're going to be targeting the swing failure pattern into the golden pocket and also the bearish backtest of your Fibonacci or your pitchfork band, right? Boom, reject. Maybe you're going to come down here. But that alone is now, that scalp position is a 6-to-1 risk reward ratio, and it could turn into much, much more. You could now come up, take out the highs of the range. I think personally that what we're seeing down here is potential accumulation range developing. By the way, not done yet. Not done yet because this was your tap 1. We finally got a lower low here. This could be a tap 2. I think it needs to come a little bit lower, to be honest. And then we could see, say we do come a little bit lower, and then you get a range form in here for a bit, and then a tap 3. You have your accumulation that sets up down at the value area low of your macro range and at the bottom of the pitchfork or near the bottom of the pitchfork. And then you could get your expansion to the upside and come grab the liquidity at 171 where your two very key anchored VWAPs are. That's the anchored VWAP from the all-time high and the anchored VWAP from the $96 lows. Also an important support resistance flip area. Now, remember, guys, these are potential long positions, but Bitcoin is not at support. Total market cap was actually at support. We're at the bottom of the pitchfork here, so it's at support. So we have some confluence here. It's at support with local bull divs. Not so much on NAMI and not confirmed on Market Cipher B, but let's check the 2-hour. Yeah, so bull divs, one drive confirmed, maybe another drive coming. Bull divs on NAMI confirmed at your support level. These alts at least could get scalp long positions. From what we're seeing right now, we have confirmation for some scalp longs here. Dang, that turbo, man. I'm telling you guys, this has a very nice trade here. Because of this intense liquidity trail here, especially this part of it, this last little extreme drop here. I mean, you could start to squeeze, at the very least, if you start squeezing this, you could at least squeeze up to this high easily. And we just took the liquidity. And overall, our bigger Elliott wave count suggested a flat where we came down, we pushed up really fast to take out your liquidity of the highs. This is your A wave, this was your B flat, and then you have your big C wave coming down to take out the lows of A, and now we could see a big push up here. So everything, according to the technical analysis on Turbo, looks like we could get a good trade from here. We could be seeing a really nice trade. here. I mean, the back test of the value area low is going to be important. 0.195, 0.195. If you reject there, I would probably start to close it out. Close out 50% of it. We might see something like this, though. Boom, a back test, another low being made, push up, and then kind of that bottoming reversal pattern here, that rounded bottom reversal pattern at your golden pocket. But you could still long from here to here. You could short here to take out these lows, and then you could long again, even up to your golden pocket, lower high golden pocket. So yeah, Turbo is looking very nice to trade right now. Like it's very quickly. AXSCB, how quickly do you move your stop loss into profit? Well, I move it to break even. And generally after I take my TP1. If you're looking like now, sometimes if I'm actively watching a scalp trade, like say we took the SFP here, right? And say we come up to the VWAP and start to reject the VWAP. Once we start rejecting that, I might just pull 50% out. I just might mark it 50% out and then move my stop loss to break even right then and there, even though the overall premise of a TP1 was value area low. So you kind of have to pivot in real time based off what's happening on the charts. But yeah, man, it's, you know, it's not looking too bad, and you just gotta play it trade to trade. It's subjective from trade to trade, I should say. Okay. Ooh. Let me plug this in here. Let's look at Bitcoin. What is Bitcoin doing? It's trying to hold the value area low. I don't like how we front ran this liquidity here, guys, at 85,129. I really don't like that. Let's pull our golden pocket here from the rejection of the POC down to the lows. If we start to come up to this golden pocket and start to reject it, I think we're going to come down again. And that golden pocket is at 86,392 to 86,451. Crypto Clown World, welcome in, man. Looks like Friday is not only options expiry and the Japan rate hike, but new moon as well. Okay. And new moons usually dump us, right? As far as moon cycles go. What is ETH doing here? ETH is attempting to bounce from the 786 Fibonacci. 786 pulled from the lows to the highs. I think Ethereum overall, guys, is going to come down. Look at, we're breaking our channel too. It's our bigger ascending channel that we've been in. We're breaking it. We're starting to break it down. So on Ethereum, yes, we're bouncing from the 786. I would watch for this. A breakdown and take that liquidity. Or at least this liquidity. Because remember, when you break a channel down, you often swipe the entire liquidity trail, but sometimes you at least swipe the second pivot liquidity, which is this low at 27.16. So you break it down, you'll generally have an immediate low time frame back test, maybe grab some liquidity of the secondary pivot, have a higher time frame back test, and then you might break this thing down. Let's see how that plays out. Okay, Solana is coming up to back test that value area low, guys. Let's watch. Wow, look at this SFP. Jeez. You know, we're breaking our little channel to the upside. So Solana is starting to pop. That value area low is coming in at 124.15, let's say. If you reject from 124.15 immediately, then you're probably going to come down again and grab the low one more time and then create that, you know, rounded bottom. But Confirm swing failure patterns. We knew that this was a long trade opportunity. And remember, we could come all the way up to 135.37 here, 135, 136. It would grab the liquidity of both of these kind of crazy wicks up here, stop out some traders, and we actually have a nice descending channel here. Pretty nice descending channel. Let's do this. I don't like that. It's okay. It's not the nicest. But you can kind of see that, you know, downtrend structure in here. All right. Did I cover all of them? We got 8. Okay, we'll do ADA. So we did Sol, we did Syrup, we did Tau, we did Turbo, AVAX. I'll look at AVAX and then we'll look at ADA. So AVAX here. AVAX is been in this descending channel for quite a while, guys. Let me get rid of this for a second. So you can see this big descending channel that we've been in. And we've even been in a bigger descending channel from the October 10th. Look at this bigger descending channel. Let me clean up all this chicken scratch here. So look at from the October 10th dump, we had our dead cat bounce high, kind of been chopping a secondary high here. Now you could even put it there. It's going to be relatively the same channel. But we've been trending within this descending channel here, and we're coming down to that midline. So I would say that this was a trend, a very nice trend of lower lows and lower highs, and now we're starting to flatten out here and starting to find some bit of a bottom here, a horizontal range. So what I would be doing here, let me go back to the USD chart, Coinbase chart, and what I would be doing is looking at that horizontal. See how we have the big descending channel in here, and then now we're starting to flatten out a bit here. So let's look at that flat range. Let's come in here. Now we are breaking our order block, our really nice order block here. This guy, a daily order block. I'm going to delete this now because we've been busting through it. And our value area low, our accumulation range value area low is at 12.57, but I'm going to get rid of that there. And let's bull divs, by the way, on the daily, lower lows, higher lows, nice higher lows, multiple drives. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Money flow curving to the upside. Bull divs on NAMI. Man, AVAX is looking pretty good for a potential good long opportunity. Maybe could turn into a swing long opportunity. But you want to wait until it actually hits the support. So first off, let's go ahead and we're going to look at this sideways range that we're at. I don't like how we're losing the pitchfork. This is the bottom of our pitchfork. This blue line right here is the bottom of our pitchfork, and I do not like how we're starting to lose this. You can see it was kind of holding a support in here, and now we're breaking it down with volume over the past few days here, this week. Let's pull that sideways range. Yeah, there we go. And that's also the back test of the value area low. So right now, because we're below the pitchfork and we're below the value area low, even if we bounce here, we have to watch for this. Rejection and continuation on the bearish back test. Are we bouncing from any key levels? So let's come in here. This daily order block, and we have a daily order block, a 2-day order block. Let me go to the daily chart. Okay. Yeah, so we have this daily order block and a daily level at 11:33, and it goes up. I'm just going to mark this out to make it easy. 11:33 to 11:46. Let's pull over here. And we'll throw this here if I can get to it. This is your daily order block. All right, it doesn't have to be perfect. Let's get rid of that top one. This is going to be a daily level right here. That's your next support. And really, until we come down, there's nothing else really in there. I guess, yeah, we're at a daily level right now. Okay, so you're coming down to a daily level. You're bouncing from a daily level, or you're trying to bounce from a daily level. But this order block below looks a lot nicer, to be honest. At around 1133. 1133 to about 1147. Let's go to the 4-hour time frame. Yeah, and this looks like it could be a very steep descending channel in here that you're kind of chopping around. So coming down to the bottom would be kind of nice. I would say you're at a daily support level, but you do have some slight bull divs, not quite confirmed, higher lows, lower lows here. Not on NAMI. On the 4-hour anyways. Let's check the 1-hour. 1-hour actually has nice bull divs. Money flow bull divs potentially. Really nice bull divs here. And money flow bull divs. Higher, higher, higher. Yeah, I mean, I personally would want to come down just a little bit lower to make one more drive into this 1147 to 1133. But we're at a daily support level with bull divs confirmed. Now your 4-hour money flow doesn't look good on Market Cipher B. So you're kind of at support. The daily time frame also, by the way, had multiple drives of bull div on NAMI and Market Cipher B. So maybe if we come down to this level here, I'm going to actually set an alert here and on this daily at $12. So we could put swing long, maybe. Swing long here. Oh, I'm sorry, John. I generally don't stream with music during the streams. I'll do it during the intro. But I was, testing it out today with the YouTube music. But wait, is the music back on? Hold on here. It's not back on, no. Okay. Music wasn't bad. Okay. Anyways, that's it for AVAX. I would be wanting to come down a little bit lower, and then you got to watch now the back test of 12.8 to about 12.9, 12.85, 12.8 to 12.85. That's going to be your local resistance now. Because if you do reject from that, you're going to continue lower in this general area here. If you can break back above it, then you might be able to make a move up to grab all this. Look at this liquidity trail. All three of these lower highs, you might be able to break up. Now your golden pocket pulled from that range high to the low that we just made. Actually, it's not your golden pocket, but it's probably going to be your 786. Yeah, your 786 is going to be at the value area high. So 1451 is probably going to be a little bit of resistance too. Okay, that was AVAX. Let's go to ADA real quick. ADA, USD. Well, we got the liquidity grab that we were looking for. Remember, we talked about this 886 yesterday, but the big level we were looking at was the liquidity grab of 3711. Because we did reject from our resistance up here, we can change this golden pocket. Yeah, golden pocket's now going to be at value area high. I would want to come a little bit lower here. If you don't confirm the swing failure pattern, so far it hasn't confirmed yet. Solana's confirmed it. Let's see. Did Solana come back down? No, Solana, man, okay. This is a bigger range, guys. And I do have to say, the liquidity grab that we've seen so far is a very shallow liquidity grab. That is generally not good. You want to see a liquidity grab like we saw at the top of the range. See this here, and you see a big wick where it actually stops out all those traders. This is a very shallow liquidity grab, so I wouldn't be surprised if we do come down one more time on this. But Solana, you can see wicked the level and is above it. On ADA, on the other hand, ADA's dropped below the level and has not reclaimed it. So it is not a 60. Actually, we're rejecting on lower time frames. Let's go to the 12-minute. You can see where we wicked down below it. We're actually rejecting on the back test, suggesting that we're going to come lower on ADA. We have our box of support below us that hasn't been hit yet. So I would say that it's likely that we do come lower on ADA. And really, the big level is this box within the box, the monthly level, and the macro 786 at like 33.5. That is the key area where I'd be really looking to grab that long position on ADA. You're breaking your value area low of your range. You're breaking your little range down here. This range was at your macro POC. Remember, this is your macro POC of a 3-year long range going back to, I think it was November of 2022. Let me just grab this. Bring this down here. Okay. Yeah, it goes back to January of 2023. So 2-year long range. 2-year long range. And remember, guys, the overall premise on ADA here is that we're in an impulse to the downside. These are your 1-2s, right? You have your 1, 2, 1, 2, your big third wave here. This was a 4. Now we've finally made another lower low. That's a 5. We have to get one more retrace in a 4 and one more 5. So ending this at the monthly would be really nice in a potential swing long position to even come up to your golden pocket. And that golden pocket would be pulled from the high of the impulse to the low of the impulse. I'm just going to throw it on the monthly. And then we would look at your golden pocket on log scale. 618, 65, log scale. Coming up to that 67 to 69 cent area. So that's the overall premise after you finish this impulse. This impulse doesn't look done to the downside, but this could be, you could long the monthly all the way up to the weekly at 68, 69 cents. I mean, dang, that looks awesome. But this here, 1, 2, 1, 2, here's your big third wave. And in your fourth wave, look at this fourth wave here. From the lows, a super nice 3-wave corrective move. Let me zoom in onto the 4-hour. I'll show you guys that. After the lows of the third wave here, look at this 3-wave corrective move. I mean, that you couldn't get a cleaner 3-wave corrective move than that. And once we saw the rejection, if we were talking about this yesterday, we saw the 3-wave corrective move into resistance and we rejected. The highest probabilities were now to come down to take out the lows. We've done that. But I think we could come a little bit lower because we're not confirming above the SFP. This push down, this impulse down could continue a little bit more, maybe until the top of the green box. Then we get another 3-wave retracement up to the golden pocket area for a secondary wave 4, and then you get one more push down for your final wave 5. Because you have 2 1-2s up here, 1 2 1 2, you now need 2 4 5. So this would be your first 4, this would be your first 5, this would be your second 4, this would be your second 5. And then you could see the push up to 68, potentially up to 68. But I don't think this impulse, this is a super nice clean impulse. Like, look at this. This is super nice looking. And yes, you are confirming some bull divs here on the daily time frame. Lower lows in the price action, higher lows in the momentum waves. Actually, not confirmed yet. We haven't rolled that over yet. Money flow's starting to come up here. If we could come just a little bit lower on this, guys. I mean, 33.5 cents, that monthly at 34, and then like the 786 at 33.5. Whew, that could be a good long position. Okay, we did AVAX, we did and here's the thing on ADA here on Cardano, we're losing the POC. For the first time, we're if we close a daily candle below this POC, that is not going to be good, guys. That is not going to be good. And I would suggest you're going to come down to your next major support, which would be that monthly and that 786. And then if you lose that, honestly, you're probably going to come down to the value area low at like 24 cents. Okay, open interest on Bitcoin. Yes, we can check open interest on Bitcoin. It's just dropping. So from today, and I showed you guys this at the beginning of the stream, but your open interest here is just uh, pretty much dropping overall throughout the day. Now, we were starting to get a little bit of a rise here. Actually, that was short positions. Look at this. Into your value area low of your range. We were just at the value area low. Let me go back to Bitcoin real quick. And God, sometimes retail astonishes me, the choices they make. Because we were coming into, wait, was it the value area low? I guess not. We were coming, I guess we were losing the value area low, but look at pretty much at the value area low right here, about 86,750. We come back here right at about 86. So I guess up here, you could see actually this was still a bit of a squeeze because your open interest is dropping here. Your CVD is rising. So that was a little bit of a short squeeze, but look at right at the bottom of the move, right at the very bottom in this area. You see short positions coming in, and those were fresh short positions. So we had literally people longing the exact bottom of the dump today. It just never, and that's why we're starting to push up. By the way, this looks like a corrective channel here. Look at that corrective channel that we're seeing on Bitcoin. I have a feeling that we are going to make new lows on Bitcoin. Let's zoom into the 5-minute on Bitcoin, and we can look at that channel. Yeah. Wow. And we didn't take out the liquidity. So this here, very clean little 5-minute channel that we're seeing on Bitcoin. Let's go to the 1 minute. You can see that little channel that we're forming on Bitcoin. That's algo trading right there. Bots micro scalping. This thing's probably going to... Okay, you've been DCAing since last year. I sold it for COSPA before the breakdown at 15.4. Okay. I mean, Turbo looks like it's at a good spot right now. Okay. Let me catch up in the chat. ADA is going back to... Could ADA go back to 41 cents? I think it's more likely to go down to 34 cents first because that double 1-2 impulse that I just showed you. But after it hits 34, I do think it could go back to 41. Let's just hold on. I'm is that where your entry is at in a long position? I hope not. But let's look at 41 cents. Ooh, it's highly unlikely to me to go back to 41 cents. Oh, you probably. Oh, I hope you didn't long the top today. I'm not saying you did. Yeah, it could, but I think that because we're in this kind of descending channel, specifically in this part right here, we could drop down to like 36 cents first, and then we might see a small bounce, but we're looking for those bigger 4-5s now. So remember up here, you have your 1-2s up here, you have your big third wave here. So before breaking up to 45 cents or 41 to 45 cents, it's way more likely we come down to 34 cents first because this was our wave 4. This was our initial wave 4 retrace here. Now we're in a wave 5 to the downside, and then we're going to get another 4 that's expected to make a lower high, probably into it like this golden pocket value area high region before coming down. So you have this, and then you're going to have the same thing kind of down here. It could be a little bit more wedgy. So I would say unlikely. Your question is can it go back to 41 cents? Unlikely until we get down to 34. After we get down to 34, yes, it could. It's actually likely after that. Okay, where was I at? I had a feeling when I heard about the expiry, I had to look at the moons. Oh man, that could be bad. Just yeah, just the dog and pony show, right? Crypto Clan World. You know the drill. Ondo. Is this the one I look at? Yeah. All right, we'll check out Ondo real quick, and then my macro fractal says 83.5, then 100K last bear market from last bear market anchored VWAP. from the top. Well, 83.8K to 83.5K is the next major level of support that I'm looking. Destroy or Desi Vendrea. So that is, but I don't know if we're going to go all the way up to 100K from that. 83.8, that's your 786 and your liquidity grab into your 786 Fibonacci. But because we did reject here, and I'll still check Ondo, guys, don't worry. But because we did reject on the bearish backtest of the Fibonacci channel and the pitchfork here, this was a bearish backtest. And let me just show you Destray and I don't know how to say that. Desi Andreva. Let me turn on our Fibonacci channel. Let's turn off the pitchfork and let's turn on that macro fib channel. So you can see very similar price action, but that was your trend for the entire bull market. Look at this trend. It was and that channel was pulled from way back in 2022. These three pivots, and we respected the top of it. We respected the midline. In 2024, the all-time high was at the 1.618 Fibonacci extinction, came down to the midline, came down to the midline again, rejected the top of the channel after re-entering it. Now we're losing the channel. We back-tested the channel, and we're rejecting. So it is likely that we go lower. The highest likelihood is to take out the 80.5K lows, actually, first. 83.8 is going to be a scalp long position for me, or like a day trade long position. But because we now in here lost the channel, back tested the channel, it is likely, because of the rejection on the bearish backtest, it's likely to take out this low. Highly probable. Now, I'm not saying it's going to happen today. Not even necessarily this week. But because of this, now that we can zoom in here, we had the three taps, three back tests. Backtest, rejection. We're losing our golden pocket, pulled from the lows to the highs of this range. This whole range, I've been saying for weeks, looks like a corrective range in here before ultimately losing it and dumping and taking out the lows. And our bigger impulse, our Elliott count to the downside from the all-time high, a wave one, wave two, internal wave one, internal wave two. This is your 3, 4, 5, 4, 5. And the target is 74.5K to take out the 74.5K lows. So sure, could we come down to 83.8 and bounce? Yeah, I think it's likely we bounce, but we're probably just going to come up to your local lower high golden pocket before continuing this impulse down here, this structure down, this breakdown. And the target, the initial target for our first wave 5 is to take out 80.5K. I think it's going to drop likely to the 78 to 77K area where more macro support is. And then we might get a secondary wave 4. Here, let me just do this. I think it is right. Where's it at? Here. Yes. Okay, so we're looking at this bigger. Now, wave 1, wave 2, and then you have an internal wave 1 and 2 here. But third wave here, your fourth wave, and you're going to have 2, 4, 5. So within this bigger primary count of a 4 or 5, actually, we could say this was the 4, right? And our 5 is going to be here, but then we're going to be looking for one more 5 because you have a secondary 1, 2 here. So this is a 4, a 5, and then we could see another 4 and then another 5 to take out 74K, but potentially to come down to your 70K golden pocket. You have a golden pocket at 70K. That is where this entire impulse down from the all-time high could end. Between 74 and 70K. That's what for me, has been the highest probability since we lost, since way back at the middle of November. When we lost that in the middle of November, I said that's the highest likelihood is that we're going to continue down to take out the lows. So far, it is playing out, and it takes time, guys. These are high time frame Elliott wave counts, so they're going to take time to play out, but it is looking like it's playing out perfectly so far. Is it alt season? Heck no, it's not alt season, man. I don't think so. Not yet. It dropped from like 2 billion market cap. Yes. Well, I don't. Oh, too soon. CCW. Yeah. Could you check out Cospa? Yeah, we'll check out Cospa. I'm going to check out Ondo and Cospa. About to start buying the dips. Chainlink. We'll look Chainlink. Chainlink at $10 time attack is. I'm going to be buying heavily there. Hey, brother, can you check? Okay, we got a lot to look at, guys. I'm sorry. Let me catch up in the chat here. We will start looking at the coins. But yeah, guys, please like the button, like the video. Please subscribe to the channel and share the video with anyone. Before we go into the rest of the altcoins, I want to take a second just to shout out the partners of the channel. So the main partner of the channel is BYDFI. They are a VPN and KYC free exchange. All you need is an email and a password to sign up. If you do sign up using my affiliate link in the description, you'll get a minimum of 20% discounts on trading fees. And if you deposit some large amounts into the exchange, you can get up to 40% off trading fees. And that really does add up, guys. They're offering up to $8,100 in futures trading bonuses, depending on how much you trade in the futures markets. And they're offering some of the best initial deposit bonuses in the entire industry. For example, if you deposit just $100 into the exchange, you can get a 50% bonus, which is the highest I've seen anywhere. And then they're offering various 20% and 10% deposit bonuses on top of that if you deposit more money. So I have partnered with BYDFI to create a Telegram community. And in this Telegram community, like throughout the day today, I told you I was posting updates on Bitcoin, like it's likely to dump. That Telegram community is free to join. The only thing you need to do, it's a private community. In order to get into the community, all you have to do is sign up with BYDFI using my affiliate link and then deposit $100 into the exchange. That $100 is your money to trade with. It's not, you're not giving it to them. It's your money to trade with. You will get 20% discounts on trading fees. And if you KYC, you can get the 50% deposit bonus. And you'll also get access to the Telegram group. Once you're in the Telegram, you're in. So for me, it's a win-win for everyone. And all I earn is a percentage of your guys' trading fees that you were going to give to BYDFI anyways. In order to get into the Telegram, once you've deposited the $100 into the exchange, you click the Telegram link in the description of this video. You type in /verify in your user ID, which will be right up here. And then it will get you into the Telegram. The second partner of the channel is NAMI Trading. That is this momentum and money flow indicator down here. This is a really great indicator I use for entry and exit confirmations on my trades. Like as we're coming down to support, I'm looking for bull divs. And if you're not sure how to look for bull divs, the cool thing about NAMI is it prints them automatically for you on the chart. It can show you those levels and it can show you bear divs. The money flow is quicker than Market Cipher B. It's also based off the actual money flow. So they partnered with the channel to do a discount for subscribers of the channel for our community members. If you use my affiliate link, you can get 50% off. Divine 50 is the discount code, and both the discount code and the link are in the description of the video. And then lastly, we do have MEXC and Bybit, both great exchanges, both offering some trading bonuses and some futures bonuses. So if you want to sign up with either of those exchanges, if you guys use my affiliate link, it's just appreciated and it's a way to kind of support the channel. All right, let's get back to the TA here. Thank you guys for listening to that. Let's go to Ondo right now real quickly. Now, already today in the live stream, guys, we found a long on Solana. We found a long on Turbo. We found a potential long on Tau. A lot of those coins are confirmed bull divs or swing failure patterns into support levels. Really nice trade, really nice risk reward ratios. Like really good day for trading right now during the live stream. Wow. Okay, Ondo, unfortunately, Ondo is losing the range. This was our upper range, and this could be bad. Left shoulder, head, right shoulder type of thing, or that could be a distribution, a higher time frame distribution here. But you're losing your value area low of your range here, losing the value area low, and losing the range low. And look at, you lost the range low. You kind of were doing that back test range. You're dumping and losing that range now. So Ondo just looks bearish AF. Now, you actually even invalidated the local bull divs on the daily. Man, this thing could get aggressively bad. Let's see here. We have some liquidity resting down here at 38.5 cents. Okay, I do see a nice daily order block. Let me just come in here and mark out this order block real quick. So there's the top of the order block. And actually, we'll do the daily level at the bottom. The daily level at the bottom. And then you have the liquidity grab right into that. So see this liquidity from this big daily candle? So that's an SFP liquidity grab. So I would say right now, you're coming down to a liquidity grab, a very old liquidity grab. I don't know if it's going to work so well because it's so old. And yes, you could still have some traders in from there, and there is still liquidity resting there because look at how impulsive this was afterwards. So you will have some liquidity resting below that low. But with an order block in here into a liquidity grab, that's a much better support level and a daily level in there. So 34.8, 34.8 to 34.3, this is your big support level I would be watching here. This guy in here. And unfortunately, until you get down there, this is it. Like the 39-cent SFP or your 35-cent really area, 35 to 34-cent area. You were ranging at your range lows. You see these range lows here. You were forming a range kind of underneath them and flipping them to resistance. That is very bad news for Ondo. And this could be a bigger, okay, three-wave corrective move coming down to your golden pocket. So let's pull our golden pocket from the lows of the impulsive move, which is pretty much your lows overall, to your highs. We're going to turn on our golden pocket in 786, but because that's more than a 100% move, we have to change our fibs to based off log scale. And we've already lost the golden pocket. That's where we were trying to form that range, was at our logarithmic golden pocket. You can see the range that we just had on the charts over the past month. We've been in this range. Look at that right there. Boom. Forming a range at the golden pocket. You couldn't hold it. That was your range you were forming over the past month at the golden pocket, at your macro log golden pocket. We're breaking it down now. Now with your 786 being down below, gosh, actually, so I would say this is your more macro support level between the 786 and that a liquidity grab at 35 cents. So from 35 to 32.8. But within this bigger, if you want to snipe, the smaller box with inside the bigger box is where I'd be looking. Unfortunately, you're losing your golden pocket with a big push to the downside. You tried to break it. Look at, you created a liquidity trail. You're kind of creating a triangle in here in some ways. And this entire move down looks impulsive. So let's look at the more macro scenario here. We're going to zoom out to the 3-day chart, and we're going to pull that trend-based Fibonacci extinction from the highs to the lows to the highs here, and look at where your 1-to-1 Fibonacci's comes in at. That is absolutely your support level. So if this was all impulsive, oh gosh dang it, impulsive price action, now you're going to get your 3-wave zigzag correction. Oftentimes it comes down to the golden pocket, but on altcoins it comes down to the 786 a lot to make a higher low. Well, where's your 786? It's where the 1-to-1 pull the 1-to-1 Fibonacci extinction for that ABC correction, a sharp ABC. Within your A wave, you're looking for impulsive price action down. This looks pretty impulsive to me. Within your B wave, you're kind of looking for that corrective 3-wave corrective move or complex corrective move. And then within your C wave, you're looking for an even sharper, more volume filled push to the downside. Well, so far, this looks very sharp, impulsive move to the downside. So Ondo coming down to 30, really 35 to 32, but around 34 is where I would really be looking to start buying Ondo. And this could be, by the way, a potential swing long opportunity. We're probably going to start to form a bit of a range down here, but this could be at least a long to back test the value area low before either coming back down and continuing or, making a higher low and starting to change market structure. So that's what I would say for Ondo. Until then, you do have liquidity grab just below you. I would be careful with that. It's very old liquidity there. You lost your golden pocket. No bull divs really. I guess slight potential for slight bull divs on Ondo, but I would say highest likelihood is to come down to like 34 cents. Okay, that's Ondo. Let me see here. I know I have a lot of catching up to do on some of these altcoins, so let me scroll through the chat here. Okay, Kaspa. Yes. I know I have a chart for it. Oh, that's cost up. is CAS CAS. Let's see. CAS. There we go. Okay. So MEXC chart. Cost is coming down. Let me get rid of this. Get rid of this. And let's get rid of this for a second. So look at where COSPA is coming down to the bottom of the pitchfork. And we're creating that. Let me lock that. We're creating that potential tap 1, tap 2, tap 3, seeing that bottoming reversal pattern at the bottom of the pitchfork, at least to make a move up maybe to the midline. So what I would be looking at here is we're going to look at this lower range that this kind of range in here that is developing on COS. Let's go onto the daily chart real quick. Let's pull our volume profile after the November 10th dump sideways. We're losing the value area low of the range. We're also starting to, for the first time today, lose the bottom of the pitchfork band. Look at the last couple of days here. We broke through the pitchfork band. We bearishly backtested it yesterday, and we rejected on the bearish backtest. So today we should have at least been expecting new lows locally. Let me show you that on the 4-hour. So look at lost the pitchfork band, made your lows, bearish backtest of the pitchfork band. You rejected. Also earlier this morning, we rejected perfectly at that pitchfork band. Now you expect to take out these lows. We just came and did that. So now I'm not saying we're going to go back up right now. Actually, I think we're going to continue down here. But let's pull our Fibonacci from the lows to the highs, and we're going to make sure that's on log scale. Yeah, it is. We've lost the golden pocket. The golden pocket was right around the bottom of the pitchfork band. We've lost it, but we have not come down to the 786. So at the very least, I would say we're coming down to the 786. Look at, you also have kind of this order block in here, or you have a daily level in there. So if we mark out that daily level right here, where that red candle and green candle are that hasn't been touched, that's a fresh daily level. Your next support is that area between the daily and the 786. Okay, if you lose that, then I do think you're probably going to come down to backtest the pitchfork at 37.5. But once again, we're looking now at creating that like left shoulder, head, right shoulder, or just calling it an accumulation. You know, you have your accumulation. This could be kind of your secondary test in here, and then you could start to push up here. But, man, it doesn't look too good as far as cost goes. This could be a bunch of 1-2s in here, like an expanding wedge, which is very rare. 3, 4, 5, 4. Now we need some 4-5s in here towards the end. You have your daily there. Let's see. Let's mark out some levels. Oh, is that a daily? Was I on the daily chart? No, I'm sorry. That wasn't a daily, guys. We're on the 4-hour chart. What am I thinking? No daily level there. We do have the daily level at the bottom of the pitchfork, though. We do have a weekly level. And let's check out our monthly. Okay, no monthlies. Monthly resistance, but look at that red monthly candle. Damn, that's bad. Okay, 2-hour chart. Let's look at our downtrend. Yeah, okay, so we're trending within this descending channel. Coming down to the 786 in the weekly. Actually, I would say this box we need to make from the weekly to that 786. Okay, that's your support between 40 cents and 39.9. Around 40 cents, let's just say that is your next support level. If you don't hold that, it's highly likely that we're going to come down to your daily at the bottom of the pitchfork. And let's look at our naked monthly points of controls. Nothing there. Naked weeklies. Okay. Man, nothing there either. Let's just make that. This is likely to continue the downtrend because we did reject the bearish backtest of the fib of the channel. Sorry, of your pitchfork band. Now I know this chart looks really messy right now. Let me get rid of this naked daily point of control. So I would just say looking to come down to around 40 cents, that weekly, and that 786 is your next major level to bounce. And then as far as to the upside goes, the pitchfork band's going to be resistance at 045. It's going to be resistance until you can get back above it. It would be kind of nice to form locally here. You have your initial back test, but you front ran the bottom of the channel. If you come down and hit the weekly at the bottom of the channel, you get a push up here. Maybe you're going to reject from the golden pocket. And this was a theoretical golden pocket, but let's just pull it to the weekly. And we'll look at our regular golden pocket. Yeah, it's going to be right at your channel midline. So I would say bounce from the weekly, maybe come up to that golden pocket, reject golden pocket and channel midline, and then come down again for like kind of that rounded bottom here at 40 cents. And then you might be able to kind of break this thing up and at least look at your golden pocket pulled from the highs to wherever those lows are going to be, that golden pocket in there. And you would need to change that to based off log scale. You have a nice daily in there. Or that's not a daily, sorry. That's a 2 hour. Anyways, that's kind of what I'd be looking at. Okay, that was costs. Let's ICP. Yeah, ICP is, well, I do like this. Look at this liquidity trail that is starting to develop here. You saw the initial big dump, aggressive dump. Now your selling exhaustion is starting to get tired out. It's starting to get less. It is still in a downtrend, making lower lows and lower highs, but you're starting to level out a little bit. So some of the pressure of selling is coming off, but you're still in a strong selling mode. This looks like algo selling to me, honestly. And this is your channel that you're in right now. So you had your initial strong dump, starting a channel here. And that's algos. That's bots. Just selling and selling and selling. Sell, 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 sell. Little bot trading in here. All bot trading. You are coming down to your value area low, your macro value area low. Actually, we're at, yeah, value area low support right now. This doesn't look too bad. Check that out. You're at your macro value area low. You're kind of trending down here within that channel. No daily bull divs, though, on Market Cipher B, but look at what is happening. Money flow starting to come up here, and you do have bull divs on NAMI here. I would look for at least taking out the liquidity, though. You have this liquidity right here at 279. I would look to wick down to take that liquidity. This was such an aggressive pump here. They're going to come for the liquidity at the bottom of that pump. And then maybe we could get another pushback up. But this did look sort of like a bottoming reversal pattern in here. Accumulation. This looked a little bit like accumulation. You had your failed auction above the highs of the value area high of your accumulation range, but you're at the value area low of the range. I mean, to me, it's not a bad level to start looking for buys. Now, let's zoom in now on the lower time frames and see, do we have some bull divs confirmed here? Well, lower lows in the price action here, higher lows here, and then look at some locally. Gosh dang it, this is getting annoying. Okay, and you did have some bull divs, but you've actually lost the bull divs with today here right now. So I would be looking for a little bit lower to take that liquidity down there. If you can take that liquidity and see an SFP of that low, it could be a nice swing long. But what you want to see is that liquidity grab and then get immediately back above that value area low. And then, but this, I'm telling you, when this does start to run, because of, look at this trail of liquidity. All the people that are shorting stop above here, stop above here, stop above here, stop above here, stop above here. If you start to grab that liquidity and get back in here, you could squeeze all this up really quickly and at least come take the liquidity at the top of the channel up here around 440. So it's not looking the nicest yet. Let's go to the 2 hour. 2 hour. Yeah, you're starting to see some slight bull divs in here, but money flow doesn't look the best, and it does just look like algo selling here on ICP. So I would wait until you come down and take that liquidity. If you see the confirmed swing failure pattern of this, I would look to long it. So I'm going to set an alert there. Because the way this is grinding down, you could really have a short squeeze. It's kind of like Turbo had. Turbo's short squeeze looks even nicer than this one, but and then as far as resistance goes, I mean, even locally, you're gonna have to watch the midline. You're gonna have to watch the top of the channel. I would pull a Fibonacci from your last rejection of the channel to the lows that we have right now, which is probably not going to be the overall lows. Golden pocket's going to be around the top of the channel. Okay, that daily, was that tapped? Let's check that. There's a daily there, and then there is a daily here. Okay, that daily was barely front ran. So we do have that daily at 330. I would be watching. It looks a little bit nicer. If we can hold this value area low, first of all, your midline is going to be your first major. And time-wise, it's going to be around 314 to like 312, depending on what time you, like how long it takes to get up there. But if you can flip that, then you probably are going to work your way up to the daily at 330. I would look for a rejection from 330, though. If we don't grab the liquidity first, if we do this first, I would look for a rejection at 330 to come down and grab that liquidity. Grab the liquidity into the bottom of the channel, and then you might be able to push up. Okay, that is ICP. Let's see. I will look at near really quickly. Man, near. Okay, here's the crazy thing on near, guys. We kind of were in this flatter pitchfork, but you can see we lost the pitchfork and then we kind of flipped it to resistance. We were in a range in here, and now we're starting to lose that range. Let's get rid of this. And now what we can do is take this and put it to a modified. Either way, you're, man, this is kind of crappy to see on near. Let me check the other near I have. You grab the liquidity down there, but near, we have our bigger bearish pitchfork. This was the range that we were looking at. You can see we lost the range value area low, and we even lost the pitchfork midline. So this was our bigger pitchfork, our bigger bearish pitchfork here. Rejected the top of the pitchfork, rejected our resistance up here. That was your resistance up there. And then we dropped down. We were trying to hold the midline. We couldn't. We're losing it, back testing it. So it looks like we're going to continue dropping here on near. Let's see, weekly there. No, nothing else in here on the weekly. Okay, let's go to the daily. There's daily at 153 or really 154. I like this order block here. This is the bottom of a daily order block. You see this candle right here is an order block. So that daily looks pretty good. That daily order block looks pretty good. So now let's pull this over. Yeah, we're losing the lows from the October 10th crash. You can see we tried to SFP it, had one green daily candle, and then now we're dumping with a bearish engulfing candle on the daily, meaning we have heavy selling pressure still, a heavy selling pressure. 143.8 or really close to like 144 is our next support level on this thing. But man, there's not really a sign that this thing could slow down. Let's go zoom out to the 3-day. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, I mean, this could be a 5-wave move to the downside. A really ugly one, by the way, like a 1, 2, 3, 4, and then this is a 5 here. So what we can do is pull our Fibonacci from the lows to the highs. We'll go for our wave 5 targets. Between the 1.236 and the 1.618 is where you can expect that 5th wave to end. And look at where your 1.236 is coming in. So I would say definitely 142 to 144 is your next support level here. If you lose that, man, and oftentimes you can drop to this 1.618. Like, all right, yeah. So not log scale. On log scale, we are breaking the 1.236, which is where your lows were, but we already tapped that. Remember, we tapped that with the October 10th dump. So that's exactly where your October 10th dump ended, is your wave 5 target. But now that we're breaking it down below, we could drop to 122 because oftentimes that 1.618 will get tapped. I would still say between 142 and 144 is still a good level, though. I don't see any sign of relief on this thing. I mean, the SFP failed. Look at, we SFP to, what was that, Monday? 3-wave corrective move, rejected. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Maybe we're going to continue down here. To me, this looks very bad. And like, yes, you are seeing some bull divs in here. Some bull divs in here. But overall, the higher time frame on this looks ugly. That sucks. Like, I was hoping near could 144 to 142. It's highly likely to drop there, but it might drop all the way to 122. Okay. Also want to give you props from the last stream when you were skeptical on Giggle. It got wrecked, pumped, and then wrecked even harder. Damn, Crypto Clown World. Yeah, man, those small coins like that, there's a reason to be skeptical on those. Dread Mining, welcome in, man. It's good to see you. Where do you pull that channel from? The one I've been trading is just from the small range from November 20. Are you talking, Dread Mining, are you talking about on Bitcoin? Let me know which, are you talking about the Fibonacci channel? So Mark Dutch, welcome in, man. Good to see you. Good to hear from you. I typed my golden pocket feels a little itchy. How can I check if everything's still divine under my hood? Oh my God, dude. And Google sent me here. Mark, that's the best one you've ever had. That was amazing. That is so funny. Oh shit. Welcome in, dude. Thank you for that comment. That made my day. Oh my gosh. Okay. Let's get back to some of the TA here. 78 and below, Desi Andreva. I think it is likely. Now, maybe not today, but I think it's more likely. D Crypto, thank you for promoting Nami. I have nailed some laser entries today because of Nami. Yeah, dude, for scalping, Nami is really good. Like, really, really good. Okay, let's see here. Not sure. Yeah, Dread Mining, if you're still in here, let me know which one you're talking about. BSG, what's up, man? Welcome in. Shooter McGavin is legit pew-pewing everything. Yeah, it is, man. Pippin, yep, we'll see. Yeah, guys, please like the video. Please subscribe. Let's see. I want to check Turbo because we looked for that long at the beginning of the stream on Turbo. If you guys missed that, We took a long on Turbo. We took a long on Solana. I shouldn't say we. I should say we presented long positions on Turbo on the swing failure pattern on Turbo. Looking at that bigger flat correction, you had your A wave down, your B flat took out the highs of A, and then your C wave to come take out the lows of A into your golden pocket. Anytime you see a liquidity grab into a golden pocket, it's also part of a bigger Elliott wave correction. And look how steep this liquidity trail is that you could short squeeze. I mean, dude, this thing is, beautiful, beautiful. Watch the bearish back test of the value area low at 001956, because if you do back test that and reject, you are going to probably drop lower. So if you do this, then you're probably going to at least come down a little bit lower, or, start to form a range in this area between the value area low and golden pocket. Also Solana, guys, we nailed Solana as well. Now Solana's not looking the best on that SFP. And I did say that SFP was so shallow there, it's likely we could make one more low. So if you guys are long on this, just, I'm probably going to let it get stopped out, let that trade get stopped out and try to re-enter. But if you're uncomfortable, if you lose your lower high golden, or if you lose your very local golden pocket, so you can pull a golden pocket here from the lows to the highs, and then just look at the golden pocket 786. You're coming down to it right now. So if you lose this, then I would probably get out of it. But this is a good potential. Also, if you miss the SFP, this is a decent area to enter if you're, I don't like the way money flow looks here. I honestly think we might be able to get one more low because that SFP was so shallow here, guys. And we did just print a hidden bear div. Now, this is another thing Nami is excellent for, guys. Nami's hidden bear div signals, a hidden bear div is a continuation signal. And when you're in a downtrend all day and then you print a 15-minute hidden bear div, I would expect, actually, now I do expect another new low. So, Nami's very, very useful for that. I got to check Bitcoin real quick here. I'm running out of time too, guys. I have some errands to do. Bitcoin was in that little ascending channel that I told you guys about. It's starting to break down. And I did say it was highly likely this was going to break down. Yeah, I don't know anything about Turbo. I just know that the TA looks really good on it right now. Is it a meme coin? Like, I don't even know if it's a meme coin or what it is, but the trade setup for it was there for sure. Okay, can you take a look at Pippin? It's highly manipulative. It went to 50 cents and dropped to 25 in a day, now ranging around 40. I'm thinking they will push it to 45 again. Pippin, okay. Pippin. Let's see, Pippin. Okay. I think this is the one you were talking about. Yep. Wow. Okay. Oh, this is the one we were looking at the other day. Let's see, Pippin. Yeah. So this could be in an impulse. Remember that, like wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, 4, 5, something like that. But you back tested that POC here. I thought I had another chart on this. Let's see, Binance. There we go. Yeah, we were actually looking for the short, it looks like. A possible short at that golden pocket 786, where we're coming up to right now. So I think we looked at this. We rejected exactly from the upper band of the pitchfork. We lost it. Had a swing failure pattern, intraday swing failure pattern. Now we're looking, because we broke market structure bearishly by taking out all these lows, we were looking for a lower high between the golden pocket and 786 to then look for a dump here. So it is at resistance right now. We do have bear divs on Nami. Money flow is kind of topping out here. I think it could pull back from this area, actually. Let's zoom into the 15-minute and look at the 15. Yeah, I think it's about to pull back here. Look at this. Within the day, higher highs on the price action, lower highs on the momentum waves. Your money flows draining out here as this little range is forming. You have bear divs confirmed with your money flow draining. So even to VWAP, actually, to take out those lows from, what was that, earlier today or yesterday? These little lows here at 36.6 into your VWAP. I think we're at least going to drop right now to test that. But you could drop all the way to your pitchfork midline here at like 26 cents. And even, further, coming down to your lower band where your 786 is. Let's do that. Make sure that's based off log scale. Oof. Yeah, that's a 2,000% pump. That's definitely got to be on log scale. And let's do this there, and let's make sure this is based off log scale. I think it's about to dump. Vibe all day, but you think it could go up to 45 again? Oh, down. Wait, it's at 45 right now, or not quite. We're at the golden pocket, and we do have bear divs confirmed with money flow draining out. So I would be surprised. Yes, you could make it up to 45, but I think that it's more likely we're going to dump from the golden pocket. All right, but it's 400 minutes. It's nonsense. Yeah, it is nonsense for sure. Jesus Save 77, welcome in. And absolutely, man. Thank you for being here for the live stream. Sudeep, welcome in as well. And Mark and Sudeep, thank you guys so much for modding, for being here. Guys, please hit the like button for me. If you got any sort of insight into the market today from the live stream, please hit the like button. To do a recap on Bitcoin, I do think we are going lower. We are, okay, let's zoom out to the daily time frame real quick. And I just want to talk about, let me get rid of that and let's hide that. So just, Bitcoin overall, we're looking at this overall double 1-2, a 1-2, 1-2. This was your big third wave here, and all of this was a complex fourth wave correction. We were bearishly backtesting a very key Fibonacci channel, rejected, and now we're looking for 4.5s here to come down to take out your 80.5K lows. And the overall target of this impulse down is to take out your 74.5K lows. Seeing the bigger flat correction in here. This is what we're looking at. The bigger flat correction. Our 5-wave impulse ended. Bull market impulse ended. Bigger flat correction. We came right up to that flat correction target. And now we're dumping, and our A-wave lows at 74.5 are our target. But we could come down to 70 to 68, where your prior all-time highs were for your last cycle, in confluence with the golden pocket and your pitchfork band. What I would say here is, and David, welcome in as well, David Brumbelow. Locally, let's go back to the Coinbase chart. Locally today, first of all, on Monday in the Telegram, I posted about the naked weekly point of control that was at 90.3 pretty much. And the liquidity, the POC of our range. So if we pull that range from the end of the dump over this whole corrective structure, your POC was there. You also had a naked weekly POC there. You had a weekly level there. We did front run the weekly level, but we came up to that in a very clean and clear 3-wave corrective move, hit into that naked weekly POC, and now we're dumping and we're losing. So I think it's highly likely that we take out our lows at 85.1 but I think it's even likelier that we come down to take out the liquidity at 83.8. That's going to be the overall trend from 94.6. I think we're going to continue down here. So if the next support level I'm interested in is our 786, pulled from the 80.5K lows to the 94.6K highs, that 786 Fibonacci in confluence with the liquidity grab between 83.8 and 83.6, let's say. And then if we don't, but the overall premise, yes, I do expect some sort of bounce from this area, but maybe a bounce just to come up to backtest this value area low before continuing down to your 78K support, where we have a weekly and a naked weekly point of control and a naked daily point of control. Because we're looking for this, all of this was a 4, and now we're looking for a 5 to at least come down to take out your 80.5K lows. Solana, we are looking at the SFP of the range low. We have that range between the point of control and the value area low, but we had kept front running the liquidity grabs, liquidity front run. And then we had some front runs in here too. So we had all this liquidity trail that we wanted to come down and grab that liquidity at the range low. So we are finally today, we are grabbing that liquidity of the range lows, but the SFP was shallow. So I wouldn't be surprised if we come down one more time to grab, to see another low locally. And then we want to start to get back above the value area low. We want to do this. We want to grab the liquidity, get back above 124 quickly, flip it to support. If we can do that, we could probably work our way up to our golden pocket where we do have liquidity in our pitchfork band. Yeah, I don't think C is finished yet. Lion Presto 6100, I don't think C is finished yet. We're still in the B with A, C to the upside as the final 4. Are you talking about lower time frame? Wait, we're still, what if the C isn't finished yet? And we're still in the B with a C to the upside as the final 4. Fourth wave. Okay, so you're talking about all of this being the, hold on, let me get back to Bitcoin. All of this is being the fourth wave, but you're looking at this as a B, and then a C like that. I see what you mean. Now, yes, it could happen. First of all, it would be more like a WXY because this was a 3-wave corrective move. So because that's not a 5-wave impulse, you can't count it as an A wave. You count it as a W. WXY is a bigger zigzag with 3-wave moves inside of them, 3-wave moves inside of them, 3-wave moves inside of them. ABC is a 5-wave move, 3-wave move, 5-wave move, and it tends to be a bit sharper too. That's just nuance. It doesn't matter if it's a WXY or ABC. We're looking for a corrective move in here. So I see what you mean by, this could be a W, this could be the X, and then we could see, yes, a 3-wave move up in a Y to take out the range highs. It's still possible. Yes, it is still possible. I agree. Lion Presto, I see what you're saying there. Now, if that's the case, you really want to bounce from this 786. And actually, if the 786 hits the 0.7 fib, so if we do come down, not the 786, but the 0.7, if your X wave comes down and hits the 0.7, then that means your Y wave doesn't have to take the highs of X. It can be shorter than X. So you could still make a lower high. But even in terms of the bigger, what I'm saying is in terms of the bigger structure here, the bigger, whether this fourth wave complex corrective move, this fourth wave complex corrective move is over or not yet, the overall bigger premise is that we do have new lows to be made on the chart. I'm not saying today, I'm not even saying it has to happen this week, but the overall premise is that this is a corrective move, and eventually we're going to come down to take out your 80.5K lows and potentially even your 74.5K lows. So if we are going to make, this is your X wave here, it's done, and then we're going to do a Y wave come up one more time. Until we get back above your Fibonacci channel resistance, I am not bullish on Bitcoin. This Fibonacci channel was a macro trend for the entire bull cycle. We have lost it now and have had 3 rejections on the bearish backtest. So to me, that means likely it's going to take that out. We don't even need to know Elliott wave counts for that. But yeah, that's okay. Yes, of course, I think we need last wave to the upside. I mean, it's possible. And I would say, Lion Presto, we did print a hidden bull div on the weekly time frame. So because of that hidden bull div and that green dot on the weekly time frame, yeah, we might make one more high up there. I think it's less of a probability. I do. To be honest with you, I do think it's less of a probability, but let's see how it turns out. That's why, as traders, we don't have to know what's going to happen. All we have to know is we mark out our levels of interest and we wait for the chart to get there. We mark out our resistances, we mark out our supports, and if the chart comes down there and we see confirmation to enter the trade, we enter. And your goal as a trader is just to scrape some money, whether it's short or long, every single day and build that account. Now, you can have an overall bias, of course. That's absolutely acceptable. But guys, I do got to get going. Thank you so much. I will be streaming on Friday at 2 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Tomorrow I'll make a normal video around market close. Thank you all so much for being here. Please hit the like button on your way out. Remember, we do have the Telegram. If you want to join, it's free. All you have to do is sign up with BYDFI and deposit $100 into the account. Once you've done that, you can click the Telegram link and type in /verify in your user ID, and you'll get into that Telegram. I do post trade setups in there. I do post my thoughts on the market, on what Bitcoin's doing throughout the day. And you can also always tag me in the general chat and ask me questions in there. So thank you all so much. Thank you, mods, Mark, Sudeep, Time Attack, R Pink. Thank you guys so much for being here, for modding everything. I will see you guys all Friday.